Throughout the halls of a Four Seasons loft. In Austin, I saw and paused. My eyes crawled to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Throw dice and woes of life. Love and pride, look at her vibe. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise. Crystal shaded lids, moments reflected. Often mirrors appear, clear, gritted from ear to ear. Craving and radiating brain, rekindling the flame. Closer she draws near. Stay there, remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, in paradise, we know our purpose. In paradise, in paradise, we know what our worth is. In paradise, we manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you conceive. Are you my paradise? In paradise, our universe becomes one.
Yo, everybody. Hello, welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. Of course, I'm your host, Matt Clark, and it is, what is today? Today is, I just got kicked off. There we go. Today is, what is today? Today is Tuesday. Sorry, I'm a little bit off today. Hello, everybody. Hello, I'm a little bit off today, but we've got everything squared away, I think. To get everything going today. But how about our Thunder Sunday night? No SGA. The Thunder still won by 30 and we're up by 40, whatever. Something that somebody was talking, we were talking about that the other night, talking about the game and saying how the Thunder, they can win without SGA. It was the Jazz. It's the Jazz. And, the question is, can you beat the Lakers? Can you beat the Warriors? Can you beat the Rockets without him? And this is the beauty of our team, is that you're able to win the games you're supposed to be doing. And and let's face it, we're 23-1, but our schedule is terrible. Okay, we've won 15 straight, 16 straight. That's great, but our schedule's been terrible. It has. It hasn't been very good. We beat the teams we're supposed to beat, no doubt, which you're supposed to do. And then the 50-50 games, which were the Rockets and the Warriors twice, and the Lakers. Those are your 50-50 games. And we've only had 3 of those, but, you're still beating the team. You still beat the Hawks, and they're really legit. You're still beating the teams that you're supposed to beat. So those are good things, okay? And the fact that you won without SGA, elbow or whatever, which the Thunder were trying, or the NBA has wanted to investigate the Thunder. I'm laughing like, you're investigating the Thunder. You want to investigate the Thunder? Because SGA may or may not have been hurt, or all these players out? I mean, let's get this straight. Players aren't playing, we're winning. We were, 21-1 without J-Dub. We've won without Chet. We've won without Ihart. We've won without Dort. We've won without Kaysen. We've won without Caruso. We've won without Wiggins. We've won without K-Rich. We've won without SGA. How are you... Now, I could see if we're getting beat, and these players but we're winning. We're beating people by an average of 15 point, whatever it is. And the NBA is cracking me up. How do you even remotely think that it's okay that you come after us? I mean, because SJ sat out one game, because of his elbow. One game against the Jazz, one game. That's what you're. And here, let's pull it up. Okay, let's pull up the score so we can kind of see what the NBA is mad about. Okay, let's pull this up. Just to pull it up. 131-101. Okay. The Jazz were 12 for 36 from 3. We were 21 for 52. We shot 58. They shot 47. This is without SGA now. We out-rebounded them by 7. Points in the paint. Y'all guys know how much I love that. 52-48. They had 17 turnovers. We had 13. Our bench actually outscored theirs by 17, which is crazy. But we'll take it. So I don't know what do you investigate? You look at the box score. J-Dub, 24 minutes. J. Will, 24 minutes, 5 points, 2 for 7, 1 for 6. Like we keep saying, he's got to be able to. to me, Jay Will, there's two things Jay Will's got to do, or three things. One, he's got to box out on free throws, number one. Number two, he has got to be able to knock down more threes. And the third thing is take more charges. Nick Collison's number is retired in the Thunder, which is ultimate team player, whatever. He's up there. And I'm like, the guy, I mean, the Thunder, then I guess they're going to put up a statue of Russell and a statue of Russell Westbrook. Because if that's your standard of excellence, to put somebody like that in your rafters, that tells you a little something about the Thunder's mentality. If you get a statue, or if you get your jersey retired, you must be one of the top players in history. We don't even consider Nick Collison one of the best players in Thunder history. Now, most versatile or nice player, good team person, good teammate, all that, 100%. But one of the best players in the Thunder history? Really? Okay. I know our history is short, but, I mean, let me see. That would be KD number one. That would be Russell 2, James Harden 3, even though career-wise you'd put James Harden over him. We're talking about at the Thunder. Then you'd put, everybody else would put Russell 1 because he played longer, because he had to, because nobody wanted his ass. But everybody thinks something different. You're crazy. Nobody wanted him. That's why. And you found out now, you're finding out what I've been saying is true. Nobody wanted him. That's why he's there. Nobody wanted him. Still nobody wants him, which hurts his fragile ego. So anyway, I don't get it. But Jay Will, you have a chance to do that. Box out. He was plus 29. Box out. Get charges. Those are your things. And knock down threes. Those are three things that I want him to improve on. Chet, 23 minutes, 25 points, 12 for 15. Once again, he's on a tear. 1 for 2 from 3. Free throws, 0 for 3. Come on, Chet. 9 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 turnovers. You got to love what Chet did. J-Dub, 25 minutes. 25 points. What was that? 11 for 19, 1 for 3 for 3, 2 for 2. I don't think he's missed a free throw yet this year. I think he's like 10 for 10, 11 for 11 or something like that. So J-Dub making his free throws, which is important, but only a plus 11. So I'm not sure exactly what they were looking at, but only 2 rounds, 4 assists. Kaysen, doing Kaysen stuff. 25 minutes, 2 for 5 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3. Good. Those are good numbers by Kaysen, I think. You got to like what you're seeing out of Kaysen Wallace. A.J. Mitchell, another good game by him. 29 points. His points are slowly, 29 minutes. Points are slowly dropping. Only scored 7, 2 for 5, 1 for 4. 4 assists. And the people are starting to, come onto his game. He got going early. And still, I think that he's trying to adjust to J-Dub. J-Dub being back. What are my spots to score in? How do I score? What do I do? I'm now number 2 when SGA's in the game. I'm number 2 when J-Dub's in the game. So he's got to figure out where he fits to score, and I think he will be a double-digit scorer, no doubt. But he's just got to figure out, how do I fit in with J-Dub? How do I fit in with SGA? Those are things that he is going to have to figure out on how to get those things done, which I believe he will. Then you go down and, Barnheiser and Chang, and Chang's getting minutes, but it's going to be a good trade. He'll be gone. Carlson, 24 minutes, 13 points. He was at his home space back there in Utah. I thought he did pretty good. From what I saw of the game, I was at, didn't get a chance to see a lot of the game simply because I was at the Creed VIP party that was held at Whiskey Cake, which was absolutely amazing. Had a great time. They had a good turnout. And thank you to Kimberly and Randy Wright for coming, along with Lindsay and Brandon Hart and Susan and Stephen Bentley. Those guys came and were there sitting at the table with us, and we appreciated it. Thank you guys again for your attendance and everything you brought. I appreciate you guys supporting me on that deal. Great. I got some good friends. I really, really do. K. Rich, 24 minutes, 11 points, 4 for 7. Loving K. Rich. Kendrick Williams, loving him. Wiggins, good having him back. 20 minutes, 19 points, very efficient. Loving what I'm seeing out of both of those guys. And, of course, young blood, he's still got to learn. So we're slowly getting there little by little. But That being said, you look at what the Thunder are doing. We've won 5 in a row of this time. And you look at what we're accomplishing. Who did we beat? We beat the Blazers, the Warriors, the Mavs, the Jazz. All 5 of those are wins that you should have. Should have. And, those teams aren't very good. Now you've got a good team, the Suns, who are, I think I want to say they're 5th or 6th in the standings, which we'll see here in just a second. So that's going to be a good game, the first round of the NBA Cup. Tomorrow night, 6:30 at home. Unfortunately, I won't be able to go to the game because I have CPR class there. So I have to take care of CPR because, being at a gym, you have to have somebody with some CPR knowledge and some way to be able to revive someone if they have a heart attack or whatever. So I will be there tomorrow night doing that instead of at the game. So I will watch the end of the game and do the show tomorrow night after the game. But unfortunately, I will not be going to the game, which of course we are. We'll show what we are, what we're the plus minuses. Then of course we do that. So now in the NBA Cup, here are the teams that are in the Cup. So we have the game against the Suns tomorrow night at 6:30, and then of course the Lakers and the Spurs play after that. And so we'll see what's going to happen with that game. And then we play the winner of that if we go ahead and we beat the Suns, which we should. So we'll go ahead and beat the Suns, which we should beat them. And then on the flip side of the bracket, tonight we play tomorrow. Tonight is the Pacers against the Knicks, and then the Pacers against the Heat, and then the Raptors and the Knicks are going at each other in the first round tonight, and both of those games are on. And in fact, let's go ahead and pull those up because those odds, here are the odds for those two games. The first game's at 5 o'clock, which is, God, man, it's going to be early, but trying to get it all in. It's late now. These are both East Coast teams, so that would be 6 o'clock on the East Coast and 7:30 or 8:30 on the East Coast. Both of these games are. So you got the Heat against the Knicks, against the Magic is the first game. The Magic are 1.5 point favorite over the Heat at home. We'll see how that's going to play out. And then, of course, you've got the Knicks going against the Raptors. God, my arms are hurting for some reason. You got the Knicks and the Raptors plus 5.5. The Knicks are favored by 5.5 there. I wish my guy Drew Henthorne was here, Husker Drew picks. He's way more better. He's a lot better at this than I am getting that all done. But anyway, you got. I'll be watching both of these games simply because I want to know who is going to win. The Magic should win over the Heat, but with the Heat organization, great owner, great general manager, president, and great coach. That's what they have. And then they've got good players. Bam is a great player. So all NBA was on the Olympic team. So you got him. And then the Knicks and the Raptors. The Raptors are playing well, but the Knicks should win. Even though it's a road game at Toronto, and a lot of that had to do with what Toronto did earlier in the season and when they went on that record. What did they have, 9 straight or 11 straight, whatever wins that they had. They went on that nice streak to put them up where they are. So the Knicks are 5.5 point favorites over the Raptors, which I think is right. So you should have the Magic, and the Heat, and the Knicks going against each other on Friday or Saturday night. They should be going at each other. So we'll see how that plays out, and I'll see when that game is. Does that show up in the NBA Cup bracket? Let's see. No, it does not show up. Saturday. It's Saturday. So we play tonight, tomorrow night. They play tonight. They play tomorrow night. Then we'll be off until Saturday, and then the finals cup is Tuesday. Because remember, the NBA season starts back up because the loser of the games tonight, they end up playing later on this week, and then the winner or next week, and then the winners or this week. If you lose, you're going to play earlier than if you win. Like if we win, we won't play again until next week. And you saw when our next game was. I'll pull that back up for you guys. Okay, If we win, our next game won't be until next Wednesday. So we play the Cup championship on Tuesday, come back and have the Clippers on Wednesday. So I don't know how great that is having a back-to-back. You win the Cup and then turn around and play the Clippers. But we know how SGA feels about the Clippers and what he'd want to do to them, right? We all know that. But anyway, the Cup is coming up, and so that's going to be a big part of what's going on. So when you look at the NBA schedule, you look at the Cup, and we've talked about this. What do we want the Thunder to do? We want the Thunder to go ahead and win the Cup. To me, it should go like this. Your goals. Win the Cup, number one. Win your division, number two. Win the West, number three. And win the chip, number four. So those should be your four goals. Let's win the Cup to redeem what we did last year. Let's win our division again. Let's go back to the finals again, which means the Western Conference Finals, winning that, representing the West, and then to win the chip. So it would be a reverse of what happened last year. Okay, remember, we lost early. We went to the Cup. We played like crap. We won the finals. Now we turn around and we come back. And here's a chance again. Let's win the Cup this time. Let's go ahead and do something we haven't done. Repeat to get our second championship in back-to-back years. Let's try that and see how that works and see what we can do when it comes to that, okay? Because to me, that's the way I look at our team. That's the way I look at what we should be accomplishing. And somebody was texting me talking about, well, what about Russell Westbrook as the greatest Thunder player? The greatest Thunder player, best player has been KD. The best Thunder player is KD. He's going to be in my top 10 of all time. Russell Westbrook is anywhere near the top of anything, nowhere near any of that, nowhere near any of it. Then the best player, Thunder player, not best player overall, but best Thunder player has got to be SGA because he brought us a chip. Russell didn't do that, didn't even get close. He couldn't get out first round. Then you turn around and you've got who? KD. So, no. KD with Russell and Harden, you get to the finals or get to make it the playoffs all 3 years, like Harden said. You lost to the Mavericks, who won the chip. You lost to the Lakers, who won the chip, and then you turn around and you lost to the Miami Heat in the finals, and then you broke that team up. And this time, what did you do? You re-signed everybody. But here's what Sam Presti didn't do the first time. He didn't draft well to put players in place to build the team. And I think 100% he learned his lesson when he came back this time around. Because the first thing he did, he got rid of Paul George. Then you got rid of Russell. So what did that mean? Number one, you got SGA. Then you turn around and you got Chet and J-Dub. You got J-Dub because of the Clippers, and you got Chet because we were so terribly bad. And we almost had the number one pick, but we got the number two, and they took Jabari Smith, and we took Chet. So, well, excuse me. No, they took, who'd they take? They took Banchero. Sorry, the Magic took Banchero. We took Chet. The Houston Rockets took Jabari. And when you look at all three teams, who is the team that made out the best? Well, the Thunder did. Why? Because Sam Presti built it. He got rid of everybody, restarted, but he added SGA. That was the cornerstone of what we're talking about. That's why when this guy was arguing about Russell, there's no argument with him. Russell stayed because nobody wanted him. Now you see nobody wanted him. That's why he's still there. You can like him all you want to. He ain't the dude. He stayed because nobody wanted him. Now you see nobody wants him. You know, they barely took him in Sacramento. KD re-upped for a huge contract. James Harden re-upped for a huge contract. So that tells you right there on the pecking order of those three who the best players were. And he can thank Sam Presti for the triple-double thing. And as everybody thought who knows anything about basketball, everybody knows he did not average a triple-double on his own. That was 100% aided by the Thunder. 100% aided by them. And everybody knows it. Those of you who are ignorant, don't know basketball, 100%. No, I'm talking about not ignorant as in dumb. I'm talking about ignorant as far as basketball is concerned. Not ignorant as far as life, but just basketball. And most fans in Oklahoma are football fans, not basketball fans. They're learning to understand what the game is, but for the most part, if, like I've said before, if OU tried to do what the Thunder did, these fans in Oklahoma went nuts. But because not knowing about basketball, only us who knew about basketball were the ones that were going crazy over it. Like, what are y'all doing? What is going on here? Because we weren't handling, we weren't happy with it. We weren't. Now everything Sam Presti has done to put us in position. What does he put us in position to do? This is what he's put us in position to do right here. Second year in a row, lead the league in net efficiency. You improved off of what you did last year. Last year, you set the record for net efficiency. This year, you're even better than you were defensively than you were last year. Defensive efficiency, you're first. Where were you last year? First. So both of those top two things you were first in. Opponent's field goal percentage, I think we were second or third. Pips, points in the first paint, which is opponent's points in the paint, pips. We were first last year, first this year. Turnovers, taking the ball away. We're first last year, first this year. Points off of turnovers, first last year, top three last year, first this year. Deflections, first last year, first this year. Percentage of three-point contests contested, I'd have to look at that, but we're first. And what that basically means is that we don't give up open looks very often. So that's saying out of 42, let's say somebody shoots 32 threes. Basically 19, almost 20 of those were contested, which means somebody had a hand in their face. Somebody had a hand in their face. That's the difference. Opponent's points and drive, first again, which means we don't allow people to attack the basket and score. So all the things we were number one in last year, we're not number one again this year. But we're better. So you can see the things that matter to the Thunder started with number one SGA and what Sam Presti did. And when you look at this list, that tells you everything. But let's face it, number one, it started with SGA. Then you added Josh Giddey, which don't discount what happened with Josh Giddey that second year. Then because of that, where we started, where we ended up, I told everybody that next year we were going to be dangerous. Then we added Chet and J-Dub. And I told everybody we were projected to win 23 games was the over-under, and I said we'd win 40. Everybody told me I was crazy. We won 40 on the number. Everybody told me, you didn't know what you're talking about. I go, no. You don't know what you're talking about because I watched this last year. Me, Randy Wright, the commander, and Mark Long, we're basically three of the 8,000, 9,000 people there. And like we said before, 14,000 paid. No, there wasn't no 14,000 people there. No. Paid season ticket holders? Yes. Attendance? Absolutely not. And I can remember times when the commander, they had six tickets at this time. It was just me and him at the game. It was just me and him. Or me, him, and Mark. And sometimes, if he didn't go, it was me and Mark. That was it. And sitting in there, that was it. People didn't want to go. Now, people who didn't want to support want to go to the games. Oh, can I take you? Can I go to a game instead of you? Really? Where the hell were you when we're offering the tickets to you? Your ass didn't want to go then? Now you want to go? Really? Okay. Anyway, enough of my soapbox with that. But anyways, that's what happened. Then the following year, you lose Chet because he got hurt. So this is year one. It's Josh Giddey and SGA. Year two is Josh, SGA, J-Dub. And, of course, Dort, Wiggins, K-Rich, Kendrick Williams. And then you add J. Will to that list, okay? Then the next year you add Chet and you add Kaysen. Then you get you get upset by Dallas. Because you gave away Game 5 by changing your lineup, which still to this day, we were livid. I'm still mad about that. What the hell you changing your lineup in the most important game of the series, Game 5? It's 2-2 and you're changing your lineup? Not to mention you gave them Game 4. What are you doing? Anyway, I'm not going to get upset. Anyway, so you end up losing that. And then the next year, we talked about this. What is Oklahoma City lacking? You have great perimeter defense. You have your perimeter shooting has gone way through the roof, but you need to improve your interior defense. Those were the three things that you needed. You get Chet back, you get Caruso, you get Ihart, and you get Kaysen. So all of those together, along with Dort, and along with SGA, and along with J-Dub. And to me, the way the defensive order works is Dort number 1, Caruso number 2, Kaysen number 3, J-Dub number 4, SGA number 5, and then, of course, Chet 6, and then Ihart 7, and then Wiggins 8. And if you just want to go perimeter, then it would be Dort, it would be Caruso, it would be Kaysen, it would be Wiggins, it would be J-Dub, then it would be K-Rich would be my forwards. And then the post would be Chet, Isaiah Hartenstein, and then, excuse me, and then Jay Will. That's how I put our defense, perimeter and inside presence. But no question, Ihart made all the difference in what we were able to accomplish last year. He was a difference maker, and I had been saying it for 3 years. We need outside shooting, we need perimeter defense, and we need inside presence. We do those because that's when we had 140. I go, that's the only thing we're missing. Only thing we're missing. And then that next year, after winning the 40 games, you get Chet back, you get J-Dub back. And then 2 years later, you win 58 games. So you go from 40 to 57, 58, and then to 68. You went through the roof. All because of Sam Presti changed, learned his lesson from what he had done the first time around. And we were griping about that. Like, man, why aren't you drafting people for the bench? He learned his lesson. Started with SGA in the trade for Paul George. You got rid of Russell. You added draft picks. And then what happened from there? Josh, Chet, J-Dub, Kaysen, trades for Caruso, and then you signed Ihart, and your team is built. Because you already had, at the beginning, you guys don't remember, it was SGA, Dort, Wiggins, K-Rich, and Josh. That was your starting. And then the next year you added J. Will and Chet and J-Dub, but you really only added J. Will and J-Dub. And then the next year you added really Kaysen and Chet because Chet missed that first year. So the Thunder have been rolling ever since. But like I told people, you guys weren't watching because none of you asses was at the game, and now all of a sudden you all know about the Thunder. No, y'all don't know shit. You weren't there at the beginning. You didn't watch them from the last 5 years, how they've grown. From 2021, y'all haven't been watching them. And we talk about this. The commander and I, we talk about this all the time. And Mark, we played great defense, and SGA closed the door. We played great defense, SGA closed the door. The next year, when we went to Dallas, played great defense, SGA closed the door. Sorry. Last year, played better defense, great defense, SGA closed the door. This year, better defense, SGA closes the door. Remember, 2 years ago, SGA averaged shot 61% in clutch time minutes 2 years ago. 61%. 61%. And then, of course, this year he's losing. He's winning. He's leading the league in clutch points again. But he ain't played. He was the 12 fourth quarters. He hadn't even played in. It's insane what we're doing. It's insane what Sam Presti has built, and it all started with the trade of Paul George and the trade of Russell Westbrook and rebuilding. And since then, he's built an absolute monster, and I believe he learned his lesson. But it started with SGA, then it got Josh Giddey, then you got Chet and J-Dub and J. Will, then you got Kaysen, and then you brought back, that's when Chet actually played, and then the next year you got what? What'd you do the next year? You traded for Josh Giddey for Caruso. And then you got Ihart in free agency. And the Thunder have been rolling ever since. That has been the difference in what the Thunder have been able to do. Let's go ahead and thank our sponsors, SRB. If you have needs for engineering, surveying, and planning, hit our guys up. They love to take care of you, make sure everything is fantastic and everything runs smooth for you. That's what they love to be able to do, and especially if you have a water treatment plant in your city or county, they'll make sure you have clean drinking water. Oak Grove Trucking, if you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, hit our guys up. They love to take care of you and make sure that you have everything that you need. Hang on one second. My somebody Oak Grove Truck. If you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, hit our guys up over there. They love to take care of you if you have any needs for that. YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender and a member of the FDIC, proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the Oklahoma City area. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. Or you can go into one of the 5 locations, the main bank at 401 Elm, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma. YB East, which is off the Parkway in 66 or US 66, or 39th Expressway. YB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YB Parkway, which is off Garth Brooks and I-40, just south of I-40, right there on Garth Brooks, right in front of the Fairfield Hotel, not the Fairmont. There's a difference. And then, of course, right in front of the hospital as well. And then YB People's located on 23rd and Bethany between Rockwell and MacArthur. And then, of course, the House of Creed, handcrafted since 1760. I want to thank Tanya and her girls in Haven and all of them for a great event. We went to their VIP party Sunday night at the Whiskey Cake. Fantastic here in Oklahoma City at Penn Square. It was a great event. Thank you guys for inviting us, and I appreciate Kimberly and Randy Wright attending with me, along with Lindsay and Brandon Hart, and Stephen and Susan and Stephen Bentley. And we had a great time together. Great event, some great smelling stuff, and hey, 10% off, which they don't give out discounts. So hey, we enjoyed taking advantage of that. And then, of course, you can go to the Penn Square Mall location, which is where Whiskey Cake is located, out there in the parking lot. The east one is where the men's department is, the East Dillers, the West Dillers is the women's. And as they always say, Matt, remember, pick the best for your best. And that's exactly what we do. Exactly. And, of course, the Woodland Hills Mall, dude, Tulsa's always a great trip. Love Tulsa. Love going up there. It's a great event. And they are fantastic, great people. But the one thing I was teasing Tanya about, I was like, okay, Tulsa, they have the soaps and they have all the lotions. Why don't y'all have that stuff here? Now, maybe they have it in the women's department. I need to go see if they have it in the women's department. But they've got the Aventus soap. They've got the Aventus lotion. They've got, which, by the way, I was worried about. As a dude, we don't necessarily like our hands smelling like, all shiny and smelly. We're dudes. We don't like that. But it's really not bad at all. It's not an overwhelming scent with the lotion. And then, of course, shower gel or soap. I use soap. I don't use the shower gel, but if you want to do that, whatever you use, I prefer the soap. That's just me. And then with the Aventus, which smells so good. It really, really does. And then, of course, they have the Aventus, what is it called? Sitting right here. The Absolute, the Aventus Absolute, which smells so good. Anyway, it was a great event. Thank you guys for inviting us. We had a fantastic time. So now that's saying get back into the Thunder and get back into the bracket. You can hear Ace right there. He's going crazy. Somebody came up on the porch, and of course I can't see him. I'm in my office, so I can't see, but he's going crazy. Ace. And he's going crazy. He hates it when people come up in his yard. He does not like that, especially since he can't get to him, even though he's knocked out 2 of my window panes, sticking his head through the through the glass. Spoiled ass. Anyway, when you look at the West, this is as of this morning. Okay, the Thunder are 23-1, winners of 14 in a row. We won 15 in a row last year. If we win against the Suns tomorrow night, that'll be tying our longest win streak at 15 games. The Lakers are sitting there in second. Winners of 17-6. Nuggets 17-6. Rockets 15-6. And the Spurs are 16-7. And it's so funny. We've talked about this. 2 through 5, they're right there. There's one game separating them, and there's 5 games, 5.5, almost 6 separating between that. Now, of course, if we win tomorrow, we will be up 6 games over the Lakers, 6 games over the Nuggets, 7 games over the Rockets, and 7 games over the Spurs if we win. Well, it depends on what the Lakers, I take that back. It depends on what the Lakers and the Spurs do, because one of those two teams we will either be the same as, or there'll be a break one way or the other. But 2 through 5, 17-6, 17-6, 15-6, 16-7. I mean, it's as close as they come. There's no really break between those 3 teams when you look at what they are doing, and especially when you look at the East. Knicks 16 wins but 7 losses, so they're right there. And then the Celtics 15-9, and that's the team that's really excuse me. That team has really surprised me on what they've been able to do. But go back to look at what the Spurs and like they said, Wembenyama's Wemby's return is imminent, which means I'm assuming he's going to play tomorrow night against the Lakers. That's what that tells me. But we'll see how that works out. We'll see what's going to happen with that. But anyway, 2 through 5 is right there together. Then the T-Wolves are creeping right there. They're 6. They're not far behind. Of course, we play the Suns tomorrow night. We've already beaten them once. They're in. We've beaten them once, and we play them again. I think we beaten them once or twice. Let me see. I think we have beat the Suns twice. Is that right? Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Wait. I want to say we've beaten them twice already. That's once. Okay, we've beaten them once already. We beat them once. We beat them in Phoenix the other night. And I remember that SGA, we beat them at home. And SGA and Jada said, y'all play Phoenix again. And they were like, wait, well, we just played them. And they were saying you played them in the first round of the Cup because they finished second in our division and they finished second out of the other 3 divisions there in the West. And it was us, the Lakers, and the Spurs that won those brackets. And so the Suns came in second, which made them the 4th place team of that. But since we blew everybody out, we were the number 1 seed. That's why the Lakers and the Spurs are number 2. They play each other, and then we play the Suns since they were the 4th seed and we were number 1. Then you got the Warriors 13-12. Like I said, they don't bother me at all. I don't worry about the Suns. They don't scare me one bit. Never have. Grizzlies, they don't scare me at all. Neither do the Blazers. The team that scares me, as I've said, that worries me the most are the Spurs when Wemby comes back, because they're winning. Remember, they've been doing this without him. They've been winning without him. And so that's now they're kind of galvanized, and now they got the big fella back, their best player. So we'll see how that affects them. The Lakers were winning without LeBron. They got LeBron back. Now LeBron's trying to figure out how does he fit as the number 3 option, because clearly Luka's number 1, Austin number 2, and him number 3. So we'll see how that plays out with the Lakers. But their team together, and that's basically what you want, is LeBron not playing a lot of minutes, even though he's playing a bunch, even though Luka's playing a bunch. And that's the thing. If they have to play a lot of minutes, then they turn around and have to play us on Saturday. After a couple of days rest, we're going to see how that works out. But they got to get past the Spurs first. But like I said, the Spurs worry the hell out of me. The Rockets worry the hell out of me. The Nuggets and the Spurs, the Lakers kind of worry me, but after us beating them the other night, they don't bother me as much as they did before. So we'll see how that works out. I don't think that they're going to. I think we can beat all of those teams. I really do. But the Rockets are the one team, because defensively we don't play that well against them on our offensive game. They do so well defensively against us. And you got to remember, playoffs is about matchups. Not if you're better than somebody. It's about matchups. And you want to wait to the end to play the team that's the hardest matchup for you in the playoffs. And as it ended right now, we'd have the Warriors. That's 1 versus 8. 2 versus 7 will be the Lakers and the Suns. 3 versus 6 would be T-Wolves, and the Nuggets, which would be a knockdown drag out. Remember, the T-Wolves have smashed the Nuggets twice. And then you've got the Rockets and the Spurs. I'm talking about in the playoffs before. Then you got the Rockets and Spurs going at it, which would be a knockdown drag out. And then we would play the winner of the Rockets and the Spurs, and I would hate that in the second round. But as my coach always said, the late, great Dave Smith, the Whitmer's Trophy, doesn't matter when you play somebody, you got to play them. So you got to beat them. But I tend to think in a 7-game series, I want to play you when you're more worn down than I do when you are all fresh. That's just me. I know you got to beat them no matter when you play them. But to me, if you can, the later you play them, the better. That's the way I look at it. But, I could be wrong, but that's why I wasn't as great as coach as he is. And then the East, the Knicks are slowly creeping up on the Pistons, little by little. Pistons 19-5, Knicks 16-7. The Celtics, like I said, that's a team that's really surprised me on what they've been able to do and what they've been able to come back and be competitive. It's amazing what they're doing. It really, really is amazing what they're doing, the Celtics. You got to do Joe Mazzulla and the coaching job that he's done with them. And Jaylen Brown has just been out of his mind playing. And then you got Peyton Pritchard coming up, and you got Hauser, and you've got all those guys kicking in. And, of course, don't forget Mr. White, that you've got him rolling and playing well, too. Then you've got the Raptors. They're slowly starting to come back down to earth compared to what they were in the beginning of the season. The Magic, 14-10. They've won, 12 out of their last 15 or 12 out of 16 or something crazy like that after a slow start, figuring out how Desmond Bain fits with them, giving them some toughness. And the question is, when is Franz Wagner and Banchero going to play together so we can know if that even works? They haven't played together enough to know if that even works, that combination works. We have no idea. Then, of course, the Heat, great ownership, great management, great coaching. All you got to do is get a couple players. They just don't, for them to win where they are, with what they have, it's just, other than Bam, you've got to have more players. You've got to have more players. You look at the Sixers in our chat, after the Storm, our OKC postgame show, they talk about the Cavs. Or we talk about the Sixers. We have a guy who's on our chat all the time bragging about the Sixers. And I'm like, Sixers, no. And B doesn't stay healthy enough. They don't scare anybody. I don't see them coming out of the East, even though he says they will. We'll see, but I just don't see that, even though Tyrese Maxey is playing out of his damn mind. The Cavs, they're still struggling. I think their time is come and gone. That's just me. Hawks, considering they are doing as well as they are, Jalen Johnson's playing great. I can't believe they're where they are without Trey. It just shocks the hell out of me that they're doing as good as they're doing without Trey Young. It really has shocked me. But take your hats off to them and what they've been doing. And then the Bucks, I still think that Giannis is gone. That's just me. I don't think that there's any. I just don't see it. I really don't. I don't see it. And let's say, I just don't see it. I don't see where they're going to come in. I don't see what they're going to do. I just don't see the difference in any of that. But that being said, you look at the Thunder, and you look at, are we positioned to win 74 games? Yes and no. As we've said before, what do you do if you are 4 games short with 8 games to play or 6 games to play? Do you go for it? And remember, this is our schedule, okay? Let's put this in perspective, okay? Let me pull this up. This is our schedule that in that time, okay, let's say this is in April. Here are our last 5 games, okay? The Jazz, the Lakers in L.A., the Clippers in L.A., the Nuggets in Denver, excuse me, and the Suns at home. Those are our last 5 games. So 2 of our last 5 are at home. Now, here's the big question. You know you can beat the Jazz, and you know you can beat the Suns. The Jazz are going to probably be folding at that time, trying to get, keeping us from getting their pick. So you know that's a W. And then you've got the Suns, who knows where they're going to be in the standings and where they're trying to fight for. But you know the Nuggets are going to be fighting for positioning, and you know that the Lakers are going to be fighting for positioning, and the Clippers are going to be all three of those teams are going to be fighting for position, whether that's second, third, or fourth for the Lakers and the Nuggets, and then the Clippers not trying to be in the Clippers are going to be out because hopefully we're going to be getting one of their picks. So those last 5 games, what do? If you don't need to play them, you don't need to play SGA, J-Dub, Chet. And remember, J-Dub's from the Phoenix area, but I still don't think they'd take a chance on playing him that last game there in Phoenix. I think that would be. I mean, you want him to play in front of his hometown people. I get that. But the last game of the year, a meaningless game that doesn't mean anything. Do you really want to take a chance on that? I'd say no. Now, if it's the 73rd, you've got 73 wins, and that's the 74th, that would be a hard one for me. But I'd probably play everybody. Now, for me, I'd want to, like I said, I'd want to win the cup, number 1. Number 2, win our division, number 2, which this would be already done. Number 3, come out of the West. Okay? And number 4, win the chip. And to me, the 5 would be, the caveat would be that we'll have the best winning season. So you'd have the most wins in history. You'd have the highest point differential in history, which you just had last year, and you'd break that. You would be back-to-back champions, which hadn't been done since the Warriors did it with Kevin Durant. And then on top of that, what would you do? To me, at that point, you would consider yourself to be a dynasty at that point. You've gotten back-to-back. You've gotten what you've accomplished in the 3 years. You still have basically that whole team coming back in the next 2 years. Plus, you have a lottery pick in the draft coming up after that. Then you have to decide, do I want iHeart back? Do I not want iHeart back? Because remember, next year we have to decide if we want him back. And this is how I feel. If you win the chip, you keep him. But it also depends on who you're going to get in the draft. And am I paying iHeart another $30 million? Man, I don't know. I don't know. But if we're dominating and winning, we've won back-to-back, that's a hard sell for me. I'd probably go into the apron. I'd probably pay a small penalty at that point. Alex, okay, fans are so greedy. What's up, Al? How you doing? Yeah, we're greedy. Do you want that, Alex? I'd want that. I'm just saying. Why would you not want to be the first team in history to win the cup and win the chip, and to have the best overall record in history, and to set the record for the highest point differential, which you've already set last year? You break your own record. To me, you'll be arguably one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the history of the NBA if you accomplish all of those things. 74 wins, the NBA Cup, the NBA Championship, and the record for the best point differential. One of the top defensive teams in the history of the game. Why wouldn't you want that? But the thing that we want the most is the chip, to go back-to-back. That's numero uno. That's numero uno win. Thing you want to do. And when you look at this team and you look at our leader, SGA, and how he has approached the way that he's attacking this. When they asked him, what'd you think about last year in Dillon? He goes, I wasn't happy. With the way we played in the playoffs wasn't how we played during the year. The way that I played in the playoffs wasn't the way I did in the year. So he was not happy with his performance at all. So what does that tell you? That tells you that's a man on a mission. That's what that says. He's a man on a mission. So we got to like your best player, one of the best players in the league. And when you look at him being in the top 3 scoring, and he hasn't played in the fourth quarter. He hasn't played in the fourth quarter 12 times. And our question today is over under. I should have left it at 25. I moved it up to 30. But, I should have left it at 25. Over under 25. I got greedy and said 30. I should have left it at 25. The over under 25. Remember, 2 years ago, he had 5. 5 games, 2023-24, he did not play the fourth quarter. 24-25, he had 14 games. He did not play the fourth quarter. And then this year, he has 12 games. He hasn't played the fourth quarter. That's a crazy stat. And what is he? SGA is him and Michael Jordan. And I did these things. He and Michael Jordan, his stats with Jordan. Okay? Let me see, here it is. Over his last 100 regular season games, he's got 3,243 points. He's got 637 assists. He's got 164 steals. And he's shooting 52% from the field. The only other player to match that, exceed that, is Michael Jordan. Let me tell you that again. 3,243 points, 637 assists, 164 steals, shooting 52.3%. Only other person to do that is Michael Jordan. How many does he have right now? He has 12 already. Yes. So Alex says he's going probably over the 25 or over the 30, Alex. Over the 25. I think I need to make that more realistic. I don't know if he's going to go over 30. That's a lot. That's a lot. Let me see. SGA also is one of 4 players to win the MVP, Finals MVP, scoring title in the same season. The only other guys who do that is Kareem, Michael, and Shaquille. Okay? In 2025, he had 30-plus points in 15 games, second most behind Akeem Olajuwon and Michael Jordan. They each had 16. 20 points in 94 straight games, second longest streak, which is 95 now, behind Wilt. This is what we have. This is what Sam Presti started this dynasty with. He got rid of Paul George, got rid of Russell, got SGA, got Dort, got Wiggins, got K-Rich, got Dick Giddy, then got J-Dub, then added Chet and Kaysen, and then got rid of Giddy, added Ihart and Caruso. That's what he done. Over 25, not over 30. Okay, good. I say that same thing. I agree with that. So that's when I look at it. That's what he has done. That's who we have. That's what Sam Presti has built together since 2021. That's what he's put together. That's a hell of a roster. That's a hell of a deal. That's what he's done. So you got to appreciate what Sam Presti has done and what he's doing. So I agree with you, Alex. I'm going to say now the way our schedule is going to come up, because, Alex, we've had an easy schedule, okay? So let's look at it this way. Okay, he's got 12. Let's look at it this way, okay? Plays against Phoenix, that should be 13. The Clippers, they're terrible, so that should be 14. At Minnesota, no. At Memphis, no. Spurs, back-to-back, no. Sixers, no. Hawks, no. Portland, yes. So that's 13 or 14. Let me see, is this at home? At Golden State, I'm not going to say yes. Phoenix, no. So that's the Hornets, that's 15. Jazz, 16. Grizzlies, he doesn't play well against Memphis, but as a team, 17. Then we have the Heat, the Spurs, the Rockets, the Heat, the Cavs, the Bucks, the Pacers, Toronto, Minnesota. So let's say out of that group in January, that's 16. Then you have the Nuggets. You have Orlando. Man, so you got to say under. Because after that, then you got Orlando, you got the Spurs again, you got the Rockets, you have the Lakers, you have the Suns, you have the Bucks. Brooklyn should do it against Spurs. That's 18. Let me see. At Dallas, man, Alex, I'd say it's going to be tough to him to do 20. It's going to be tough to do 20. So under 25 for sure. Over 20 and over, which is what I should exchange it to, is 20 and over, and see. Yeah, baby, did you get him? Good boy. Yes, that's a good boy. Anyway, that's what we should. That's what should be. I'd say I should change it to over under 20 because 30 is just ridiculous. But I was feeling good about what we were trying to do and what we were as a team. So I got above myself. But anyway, thanks Alice for watching. And remember, everybody, I appreciate y'all coming on. Ace, let me say bye. Okay, I appreciate everybody for coming on and watching this edition of Ace. Hold on, baby. Of the Unpopular Hour. Of course, I'm your host, Matt Clark, and I'm my assistant right here, my producer, Ace Clark, right here doing his thing, bugging me and needing treats or needing some attention because Daddy has been doing the show and ignoring him, and of course, he does not like that. If you have a pit bull, you know exactly what I mean by that. They have to have your attention nonstop. So that being said, remember 2025 World Champion.